Hello and welcome, all you happy cosmic campers. Silvianne here with this week's rendition of the Lunation letter. And this week we're starting with the beautiful, voluptuous Taurus New Moon at 7 degrees Taurus 47, where the sun and the moon come together. And we'll be ending with the second quarter moon with the moon in Leo squaring the sun in Taurus. So, as always, just a reminder, the calendar we're providing here is for universal time. To get Pacific time, I'll be subtracting 7 hours. So I'm currently on the Pacific coast of the US. So that is my time zone. So this Taurus new moon, just a reminder that the new moon is always a seed time for setting intentions for the month to come. Taurus is that beautiful sign in the cross of healthy self-interest, self-exploration, and Taurus is the quintessential the the receiver on the wheel. It models for the rest of us how to receive. And so this is the time for dropping into our bodies, remembering to listen to the wisdom of the body and know that that spirit, great mystery, gives us our pleasure and that which we're drawn to in that very deep way of appreciation of beauty and aesthetics as a hint of the direction that can be most fulfilling for us in life, especially if we have Taurus on our charts. So that is that Taurus new moon. On the same day, on Sunday the 27th, Venus is at her greatest brilliancy. She actually won't be this brilliant again in the mornings, in the sky until morning or evening, but until November of 2026. She is always brightest when she's morning star apparition. Of course, she will continue to be a bright object in the sky into November of this year. But if you want to see her at her brightest, get out there this week and commune with her before dawn. She'll also be up there with Saturn and Mercury, although Mercury is going to be very hard to see, very low to the horizon, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a better apparition for the Southern Hemisphere. But Saturn may be visible, although she, it is partly lost in the glow of Venus. And Venus is in her Pisces overstory synodic cycle, the 19-month cycle that she just started last month. And she last week made her conjunction with the new moon in the morning sky at that first descent gate, which represents the crown chakra. So again, we're still within that month-long portal of exploring what might be our blocks or distortions holding us back from the fullest communion with our deepest higher selves, with that our spiritual birthright as divine beings. So on Tuesday, actually on Monday, it's Tuesday here, you can see just after midnight UTC time, but on Monday in the States time on the 28th, the out of bounds moon is going to be conjunct Uranus. So boy, combining an out of bounds moon with revolutionary, evolutionary, I gotta be me Uranus. This is certainly not a visible timing, but certainly an encouragement to, well, I don't know, be your weirdest, most creative self, to not be bounded by what you perceive as consensus reality, perhaps, and follow the dictates of your own inner revolutionary, creative revolutionary. So on Tuesday, the 29th, that slender waxing moon is going to be approaching Jupiter in the evening sky. And then by the 30th, you can see here that the moon is conjunct Jupiter. So we'll be able to see the moon close to Jupiter on both the evenings of the 29th and the 30th. So if you go out after sunset, Jupiter is bright, looking towards the west in the western sky, setting a little after midnight. And you'll be able to see the red eye of Aldebaran, the royal star in the eye of the Bull constellation. So Jupiter in Gemini is currently in the horns of the Bull. So great time whenever the moon, this is a monthly timing when the moon passes the planet. This is visible to us right now because Jupiter's been so visible. So it's a great time to go out and get whatever transmissions might be there for you with this expansive planet of opportunity in that magical shape-shifting sign of Gemini. On Thursday, the moon reaches its maximum out of bounds. And oh, and before that, on Wednesday, I also wanted to mention that Venus, of course, is entering Aries. So that Pisces overstory, Venus, how do we, what is that fullest, what is the new expression wanting to come through of that mystical water-based ecstatic union with the divine feminine is now moving into the sign of Aries, her first sign change in this 19-month synodic cycle. And so what is that sparky doing, not being Aries sign goddess transmitting to that Pisces no boundary, heart-centered all oneness. So it's a reminder to her to have healthy boundaries, a sense of self, that sense of personal mission and agency as she is showing up in service to the world. On Thursday, the first, the moon reaches its maximum out of bounds north position, so it's rising and setting further north on the horizon than the sun ever goes. On Friday, Venus is conjunct Neptune. So Neptune has just recently moved into Aries after 14 years in its own resonant sign of Pisces. So this is a big change. And Venus is meeting with there in that first degree at 01 Aries 08 at 10 in the morning Pacific time. So it's again this bringing in the dreams and visions. So again, the highest potential of Neptune is to dream into something new. It can bring in a Neptune transit, it can bring us confusion in the service of letting go what we think we know so something new can come in. Of course, its more challenging side is illusion, deception, lies. So again, to stay heart-centered so we can work towards the highest octave of this timing and this conjunction, rather than being pulled in by all the voices of deception and confusion that are certainly going on in our world right now. On May 3rd, Saturday, May 3rd, you can see it. The moon will be conjuncting Mars in Leo. You can see here it's just after midnight UTC time. So here on the West Coast, it'll be about 5:13 p.m. So it'll be in the evening here in the United States. Certainly a very visible timing. So it really encourage you to go out and look for that moon with Mars. Mars has moved past the stars of Castor and Pollux at the feet of the Twins constellation and is moving into the constellation of the Crab, heading towards the Beehive cluster. So Mars is in the phase 2 of his Cancer overstory journey. This is his 25-month archetypal exploration of what is the authentic, nurturing masculine look like? How can we come up with a better operating manual for that? And I think that part of that is expanding what our definition of home, tribe, family is to really mean all of the planet, all of the children as the galactic citizens that we are really meant to be. And this is his first moon conjunction in this phase 2, the questing phase. It's like the hero's journey where he's meeting a series of challenges. And so this verse is almost like the vision quest. It's like gaining the vision for the journey to come. So again, I really encourage you to go out under the night sky, sit with red Mars. You'll be able to see him there just past those twin stars, and tune into what he may have to tell you, and also whatever transmission you may have to give him. It's a co-creation that for us, showing up for the cosmos as it shows up for us. What are our dreams and visions we'd like to add to that Mars project right now, of that heart-centered, um, creating a safe container for that which we most love, which is closest to our heart. Then the next day, on Sunday the 4th, we end this lunation week with a second quarter moon, the moon at 14 degrees 21 Leo and the sun at 14 degrees 21 Taurus. And you can see just an hour and a half later, Pluto is stationing retrograde. And when these outer planets station retrograde, it's something we feel not just for the day, but for days or weeks surrounding it, because they move very slowly. So Pluto is coming, grinding to a halt here at 3 degrees of Aquarius and moving backward going back over the ground that it's been in. And for me, this is inviting us to ask what old perspectives, old ways of being, maybe even unconscious, just behavior patterns and habits, they may have been formed in childhood or earlier in my life, may even come from past lives to keep me safe. What are they what is no longer serving me and indeed holding me back from walking fully into my own power? Because at this time of great change on the planet, we're all needed to show up for what we came to do, just our own little piece. It's the most important thing that we can do. And it's the only thing. We don't need to save the whole world all by ourselves, just to show up authentically for who we are. And Pluto is here to help us do that by drilling deeply into maybe the shadow areas we don't want to go. John Sandbach's title for this degree frequency of Aquarius 4, where Pluto is stationing retrograde, is display of truth and beauty in an exalted, idealistic manner. And in his description of the Omega symbol, he says, the glory that you are can, like a match, ignite the glory of other people, uplift them, and attune them to their spiritual self. That is your highest task. So again, a reminder in this sign of Leo, being the creator on the wheel, radiant radical self-love, that sometimes the best thing that we can do to serve others is to have the courage to be ourselves and to believe in our own creative vision and to walk into that in whatever, just in those daily decisions that we make that will grow and attune and help not only to attune ourselves, but perhaps others just by our own frequency and the example of that. And I believe that this fits in very beautifully with the I'm sorry, that was the symbol for the moon at 15 Leo. So the symbol for Pluto at 4 Aquarius is the Omega symbol is after a long journey, the source of a sacred river is found. So we are going to the source. The highest possibility of this degree frequency is a complete cleaning out of karma that no longer serves us. And it clears it out by clearing it at the root. So again, I believe that it's a marker for this week, especially that our task is to have the courage to go to the root. And just tying into that, I wanted to leave you with one of my journaling questions for this month, this Taurus month of that sign of sacred receivership, aesthetics and beauty, intimacy. And again, as I said at the beginning, having faith that Spirit gives us our pleasure, as well as the challenges, of course, that we come across are great learning opportunities. And this way we came. It's school is Earth is just a great school for the soul of learning whatever it is we wanted to learn. Our personal souls wanted to learn to bring more love into the world in the largest sense. And in Taurus, one of the questions that I've been asking myself is, do I have the courage to follow my own pleasure-led path into deeper fulfillment of my most cherished dreams? So remember to take a deep breath, to bring all that Piscean energy that's been so present and, that whole confluence of planets that we've been having for weeks, months now of not only Venus in Pisces in her overstory, but being accompanied by the North Node, by Saturn, by Neptune, by Mercury, and now Ceres, the great grain goddess, coming into form with that also. To remember to turn that Piscean compassion on ourselves as well, as these planets are moving into Aries. With, of course, the North Node is going to be staying in Pisces because it goes in the opposite direction, but to bring that balance of our own healthy self creativity and that heart-based desire and longing to serve. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to being with you next week. Bye for now.